Welcome back to True Story with John Gibson. Today, a very special guest, Seth Daniel. Seth, how you doing, man?
I'm so tired.
Yes. So as currently record this man is in the middle of ADCC preparations. I'm sure that's a 24/7 hour thing this time every 2 years. Yeah. So with that in mind, how are things?
I mean, things are lining up. It's a weird time, man. It's like it's like creative time. It's like creative week pretty much. So it's like art design, music design, run a show. I'm like the don't know exactly how to describe what I do.
Live events coordinator, something?
Kind of like puppet master, maybe.
Puppet master.
I'm like in charge of a bunch of people that are way smarter than me and way more technical. So I'm on these video phone calls with my team and I'm just like, and they're like, oh, you need the 6R95 cable to go into the chain motor 7295 or X12. And I'm just like, yeah, of course, let's get 6 of those. And I'm like, what the fuck I'm talking about. So
yeah.
No, I mean, I learned a long time ago from one of my bosses. Like, if you're ever trying to like grow or like do something new, to surround yourself with people that are better than you at what you do. I mean, I already have that. I mean, like Evan's a better lighting guy than I am. Gary's better at streaming. Jaime's a better a VJ. You know what I mean? I already do that, but like the team that I'm bringing in for this, like makes my team look like everybody else's team, like we normally make them look. So this team that I'm coming to ADCC with is basically make what I do very amateur. Yeah. What I really do. So it's just been it's a little bit of a mind fuck just because like everything's so above my head that I'm doing. Well,
but you're learning,
in charge of it, but I'm still in charge of it. I still have to make sure that, I mean, like, dude, it cost $17,000 just to get the permits I needed for the pyro and fire. So it's like, I've never done this before.
Right.
So it's just like everything, it's new, and anything that's new is difficult mentally,
Of course, yeah. And there's things you can't anticipate, like you said. But so is that pretty much how, I guess, as you explain it, that's how you divide the responsibilities? You oversee all these crazy logistics.
Oh, with the 4 of us?
Yeah.
It's so that's sort of divided. It's completely divided.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's Sean handles a lot of the tournament stuff. And he also does a lot of like, Sean handles all printing and banners and staffing for the mats, because that's a massive project, because they're the fucking Fuji mats where you have to like it's like a director said. No, I mean, like I don't work with Fuji. I mean, they're sponsor ADCC, but I work with Easy Flex, which is like easy. You roll the shit out, you roll it up, you're gone. The Fuji mats look better. I mean, it's a fact that they look amazing when they're all set up, like the design and all that. But I'm not doing that.
It's a lot of work.
I put one in the wrong place and fucking have like a mental breakdown, So it's like
right.
Sean handles all of that, and then Sean handles a lot of the staffing that's like stuff that I don't want to dismiss his people, especially Tammy, because she's really good at like running the ticketing. But I would say Sean handles a lot of the jobs that you could hire anybody to do.
Sure.
Not to be disrespectful.
No.
A lot of jobs.
That's a huge compliment, actually.
Giving out wristbands. I mean, it's a massive job, but like anybody can do it. But you still have to have the bodies to do it. So Sean's in charge of all that, and then printing and stuff. And then, dude, sorry, my cat and my dog are
sure.
And then Hanato is in charge of all of the branding, like the ADCC. He actually came up with the idea and built that book. So that's all Hanato. Like,
Wow.
I mean, we gave him some input along the way, but that was actually his pitch and how he got involved. He came up with this idea. He wanted to make this history book, and it's incredible. I mean, dude, he got photos from the actual photographers, like licensed to use them from like 20 years ago in Brazil.
Wow.
The dude's pretty impressive. Like he operates brows out of multiple countries. He has his own factories, and I think I don't want to be wrong, but I think Brazil, Australia, and Pakistan.
Wow.
He also does Fight to Win. He does our clothing line, and he does Hodger stuff. And so he did the book, the clothing, the trading cards, the playing cards, the NFT stuff.
Jesus.
Wow. And he put up like $500,000 of his own money to do it. That's the thing about this event that is so stressful, is that people don't understand. Me and Mo fight about this. Is not only is this the most expensive grappling event ever to take place. I mean, it's well over $1 million that we're spending, right? But we undercharge for the event, like drastically.
Yeah.
So, we went on sale. We sold 7,000 tickets on day one. Tickets should have been at least double what they were. Me and Mo like fight about this shit all the time, because Mo is like, I don't want to price gouge people, and I want everybody to be able to come. And I'm like, motherfucker, like what I'm giving them, like you're telling me that a courtside seat isn't worth what a courtside seat at a fucking Raiders game is worth? I mean, like a 50-yard line ticket at a Raiders game. He's like, you can't compare it. I'm like, no, you can't compare it, motherfucker. Like you're talking about something that happens every weekend or every day at a fucking Laker game versus once every 2 years. And I'm putting on a show that is rivals like WrestleMania.
Right.
Like that's how big I'm going. It's like, I don't know if it's big as WrestleMania, because WrestleMania is outside. So there's a lot of stuff they can do I can't. But SummerSlam,
right.
Like I'm right on par with like SummerSlam.
I mean, I feel you're both right. I mean, you're both right. You were not.
I know, wrong. but financially, like Mo,
Mo's right too, though. As a
he's
fan,
in a much different place financially
right.
than I am. So it's like the way our minds process is different. Like I want it to be priced correctly, but I always, in my mind, my value is always higher of what I'm doing.
Of course.
And so, but anyways, but it's not only that. It's not only that though. It's that we spent like well over $1 million, but we can't touch any of the money that we've sold tickets for. The venue has all of our money.
Yeah,
it's an escrow exactly. After the event. So we've had like we're broke as fuck. Like like Hanato's got out 500,000. I've got out like everything I have.
Yeah.
Mo's put in a ton of money. Flo hooked us up and gave us half our streaming rights early, which helped out a lot. And thank God for the sponsors that we got. Without the sponsors, man, this event it wouldn't happen how it is. Because I mean, like literally, we had to come up out of pocket with.
If you had a magic wand and the answer wasn't ticket sales, if there was another like line of revenue right now you could maximize just with a magic wand or something new I'm not even considering, like what would fix that so your risk wouldn't be so crazy?
Dude, we don't have any risk. We're broke even on day one. It's not a matter of risk. It's a matter of not having the money yet to be able to pay for this stuff and having to liquidate all of our own personal assets.
But that's not fair to you, though, as a promoter.
As a promoter, that's what you do. That's life. That's how it is. I mean, obviously, I wish that we had a much bigger payday afterwards. But if I was doing this just to make money, I think I'd probably make more money working at McDonald's per hour from what I put into this. At ADCC in 2019. I think I made $1.32 an hour was my average. Me and Mo like laugh about this all the time because we actually we wrote down, we were like, dude, we're not going to make any money off this. Like he was like, I don't care if I make any money. He's like, I lost $250,000 doing West Coast trials. He's like, I just want to break even. And so we kept log of our hours, and I think mine was like $1.32 an hour, and then his was like $1.46. It's like what it broke out to for what we put into it. It'll be better this time, obviously, but I mean, the money part is it's stressful, you know.
It's crazy. Well,
just knowing you got it coming in, but you can't touch it for so long, and you have to, you know, like I had to cancel a bunch of shows because I can't afford to do deposits. I can't. These venues want, you know, my venues cost $10,000-$15,000, and they want half or all of it, and I'm like, I can give you $1,000 and pay you, you know, net 30, and they're like,
right.
Like that's why we don't have any shows.
Wow,
I ran out of money, you know. So, but
So I mean, there's two things you touched on. I mean, you made a great point in all of that, so I don't want to belabor it. But you said one thing that I didn't consider at all, and I'm not a therapist. I don't want to psychoanalyze it, but like, damn, I didn't consider it. Like, is that every 2 years too? Personally, like whether it's your own work integrity, whatever you want to call it, like you yourself want to outdo yourself and bring a better show.
It's not every 2 years. But that's the thing. It's not every 2 years. As soon as it ends, the next one starts. I was in Las Vegas. Anaheim was September 25th, 2019. I was in Las Vegas December 8th or 9th, 2019, working on finding a venue. Wow. So I toured Caesars, MGM, Mandalay, T-Mobile, the Orleans, Thomas and Mack, Westgate.
Wow.
And then I literally got two months because Mo just disappears. He like goes off the grid. Right. And so, but we like literally maybe took a week off of talking, and then it was planning where are we going to go. And we had to get that's the other thing though. We have to get approval to do the next one. So, cause it's like the Olympics, the ADCC is. So it's like, it's not guaranteed that that Mo is getting the next ADCC. Marco could get it.
Really? Wow. I didn't know that.
It's not how it works.
Whoa.
So I don't even know how it works, to be honest with you. I think
it's a trip.
Mo is the highest level person that I speak with. But then there's Guy Nevins and then another guy named Peter. And Peter's kind of in charge of like the rules and all that stuff. And then Guy Nevins is I don't know. He's our boss. I don't know what he does though. Like I don't know what he personally does for a living. I think he just like manages ADCC for the Sheik, but like I said, I don't deal with that. You know, that's Mo's thing. So it's like you're talking about work responsibilities. You know, I went over Hinata and then it becomes what me and Mo do, which is different. And Mo has to deal with all the politics of ADCC.
Man,
right? And I guess I don't know what he has to deal with. Like to me, I'm always like, you don't have to do shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
No way. Just the personalities has to be so.
But I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what he has to, because he handles it all. Yeah. And then he is the one that he handles all the hotels, all the food for the fighters. He handles dealing with the fighters, which is the one thing that no fucking way I would ever do.
I can't imagine.
I hate most of the motherfuckers.
I can't imagine.
And it's not even like I actually hate them. I just hate dealing with people. So it's not like
pressure.
I don't actually hate any of them. Maybe
of course.
Maybe 3 of them that are competing. But like, you know, like I don't have any issues with like 95 of the 98 that are competing, you know. So it's like I just don't want to deal with them. I hate dealing with that part of it, you know. So he does all of that. Transportation when they land, who's getting them, who's picking them up, making sure that they're fed, getting the doctor stuff set up. And then creatively, me and him, I mean, we speak multiple times a day, you know, but I kind of have to take his vision of what he sees and then add in my vision to take his elementary school level of creative thinking and take it to like Harvard. You know, not that I'm smarter than him. That's not what I mean. I mean,
no, but you may be more creative.
I'm more creative than he is.
Yeah.
And I know more about production and stuff and how to sell an event than he does. But he also does all the interviews. He does. I mean, you're the only person I've talked with for years, you know?
Yeah, it's so crazy to me. Yeah.
I don't like talking to people, you know. So he does all those podcasts and he does all this and he does the Instagram lives and he's become the face of the company. You know, he just did Joe Rogan and that was a hard thing for him, I think, because he never wanted to be that. Like I did the interviews last time. I was on Flow pushing it. I was doing that and all that, but it's like it had to be him, you know, because they could get rid of. Like they could get rid of me tomorrow. I'm not an employee. I don't work for ADCC. I just work for Mo or with Mo, you know? So it's like, you know, they were like, hey, you know, get rid of this fucking idiot. He could drop me whenever he wanted and he would still have his position. You know what I mean? So it has to be him. And I think he's done a remarkable job of marketing and being Dana White-esque in the regards of how he runs this company, you know? And I think I'd say like 95% of the community really, really likes him and respects him.
I don't know anyone that doesn't like him. I mean,
I can think of a couple.
Yeah. But, well, no one will say anything bad about him. I've never heard anything. You know? I mean, we all got an enemy. That's for sure. Yeah.
There's a few.
Well, let me transition a little with all that in mind. Like this is one's gonna be historic. Like it's huge. Yeah. I mean, the tournament itself, obviously Galvao Gordon, huge. I mean, do you have any early predictions?
Yeah, I mean, I have predictions, but my predictions are usually pretty wrong. About
same here.
I don't really understand the rule set. It's not that I don't want to learn it, because I kind of feel it's more fun not to understand what's going on, just to watch the people try to kill each other. And mainly because I don't want to ever be asked to referee or judge. I'm dead serious. Like I refuse to attend rules meetings. Like Moses, you need to get certified so you can run them. I'm like, I'm not fucking doing it, dude. Like I'm not doing it. I don't want to be responsible. It's way too hard.
Yeah.
So predictions. What division do you want to go over?
Well, yeah, I mean, we can start at maybe, I think 66. And I mean, I'm going to go sentimental, and I want yours. It's not about me at all, but like Tonin, I want this guy to get it bad. And I'll just say this out the shoot and then I'll shut up. And Lovato, I would love to see that guy do something. I don't know.
Lovato made 66. That would be pretty incredible.
No, not right. Yeah. Just in general, those are my sentimental favorites going into this. And then I would love an upset of Andre Galvao. I would love to see it happen just for the support. I don't think it's likely, but anyway, so I'm going to shut up. But okay. Pick your brain.
66. Let me look at it. So just to be clear, I have nothing to do with the seating. Okay. I have nothing to do with the invites. The only thing is that I have any input on is sometimes there's an opening and Mo will be like, what do you think? And he'll give me, a couple of people and ask me, what do I think? And I'll just give him my opinion.
Sure.
Because sometimes I know more about the Americans than he does.
Yeah.
I don't know literally, like some of these Brazilians, I don't know shit about them.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
I know Fabricio Andre is a bad motherfucker because I've lost a lot of money on people betting on him.
Yeah.
I know Baby Shark is really good.
Baby Shark, yeah. I know him.
I know Ashley Williams is good. I know Wano. I know these guys are good, but I personally, they've never fought on my show, so I don't know them.
Yeah, same.
So it's like I'm biased as fuck. That's why I have nothing to do with any of it. If I was gonna say, I mean, my pick is not. It doesn't make sense. I mean, I don't even know if he's going to be seated in the top 10. To be honest with you, I think Josh Cisneros is going to win the entire thing.
God, cool.
I think Josh Cisneros is going to win. I think Cole Abate is going to get second, and I think Gary Tonin is going to get third. Yeah. And there's a good chance that not one person I just said is going to make the podium.
No, I get it totally.
And like I said, like literally, Cisneros is like been a star for me since he was a purple belt. Cole's been a star for me since he was an orange belt. I don't think it's his time. I think he needs one more. I think he needs to go through this first, but I think he'll make it to day 2.
Yeah.
I do think he'll make it to day 2, and I think he can either make the finals or I think he'll end up fighting Gary in the semifinal. And I think Josh will end up fighting Kennedy in the semifinal. And Josh has already beaten him once on my stage handily. And once he lost to him, he was beating him. So the way I see it, I would say, I think, those are my final 4. It's so hard though, because like, there's a few people I can look at and be like, no, they don't have a chance. Mm-hmm. Mainly stylistically, but then like I just said, Josh Cisneros, he's lost to Gabriel Souza multiple times. Mm-hmm. And I love Gabriel Souza. That kid's awesome. There's a good chance he wins. There's a good chance in that division that there's 10 different people that can win that division. Honestly, I'm just like literally going off who I want to win.
Yeah, sure.
If anybody's betting based on my picks or thinking like I know what I'm talking about, I don't. I'm just being biased.
Hey, biased, sentimental favor, whatever it is. These are just yours.
And me and Mo completely disagree. He has someone that I don't even think is going to win one match. He thinks is going to win the whole thing. So, it's just how it is. 77. I personally think that JT should have competed more in the past 3 years.
Yeah.
But you never underestimate the heart of a champion. So I think it's good. I think the final is JT and Mika. I've only seen Mika on the internet. I've never seen him, but like I've never seen him live. But then again, it's like you can't count out Dante, can't count out Cade, you can't count out Hanato, can't count out Nicky Ryan.
No.
Roberto, Tommy Langhager, like that dude just beat Canuto. I would have never guessed that kid. There's literally, I think there's 12 people, 13 people, or 11 people in this division that can win, maybe 10.
A bunch of these guys.
I don't think Lachlan is going to do well.
Yeah.
And the only reason I think that is because he hasn't competed one time in the past 3 years, which is brilliant on his end because he just made the most. That dude's made millions since the last. Great for him. Good. But I think the lack of activity is going to, in this bracket, it's like, he's going to have to face, even the lowest seeds in this bracket are going to be like PJ, Andy Varela. Like, I don't know. Would you want to fight one of those motherfuckers in the?
Never.
If you're one of the top seeds and you draw Andy Varela in the first round, are you kidding me? Those guys can beat anybody. I think there's 12 people in this division that can beat anybody in the division with the exception of maybe JT.
Sure.
I think JT is going to be in the finals no matter what. It's just a matter of, I don't know, man. I just see a final of JT and Mika, but there's some guys that can contest with Mika and there's some guys that can contest with JT. I don't see anybody that's a 4 seed or below that can take out JT.
Yeah.
Until the finals.
This weight class in particular has that explosiveness that ADCC, that rule set allows that makes it so even extra competitive. It's like, oof,
88 is a tough one. They're all tough. I'm partial. I think the final is Ty Rotolo and Mason Fowler. Personally,
Mason, I love Mason. I'd love to see him there.
I think Mason wins this division.
Whoa.
I think Mason stayed the most competitive of everyone, with the exception of Ty in this entire group. I think the lower seeds in this weight class are softer than all the other weight classes. I think a lot of people are going to go out pretty easily. I think Isaac Michelle, could be a surprise. Can't ever count out Wagner. The shitty thing for this division is that Hulk, Hinger, and Ty all have to fight in the first 2 rounds.
Man, they're all friend, right?
So that's tough because, if Hinger has to fight Rotolo, he helped train them.
Yeah, they all know. Yeah, they're all
he's going to be able to put him out.
And it's his time. It's the youth and like that's a tough one. Like,
but then I don't know if Ty can beat Hulk. I don't know.
That one
I think maybe the toughest like matches they have, and then you got Wagner went up a weight class.
Could you?
And Sanji's in there, and Mateus Denise. So it's just like I'm basically just going off of who's been the most active, in this one. But I think there's 8 people that could. I think there's 6 people in this division that could win a gold medal.
It's true. I mean, they're all world champs.
99. I take Kainen.
I like Kainen a lot.
I did a final at Kainen and Yuri. But I could see Pedro Marinho slipping into the final.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody says Craig Jones going to get second.
But who's he training with, right? Like, he's got the versatility for sure.
Isaac Michelle is no joke, dude.
Yeah.
And Craig, I mean, like, I don't know if, like, I would say he's not training with anyone. B team's got, like 6 guys in the ADCC?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, he doesn't have Gordon.
Yeah. But, is Nicky with him? I mean, does he have a big bump?
I mean, Nicky Rod's with him.
Okay.
J-Rod's with him.
Yeah.
I mean, Craig's one of those guys where it's like you look at him and it's hard to see him as like winning this thing, mainly because he's gotten second so many times. Honestly.
Right, poor guy. I know.
It's a joke, like it's a joke. Everybody jokes about it, but I mean, like, Kainen's a champion, bro. Like, Kainen's a winner.
He's beast.
Yeah. And he's won. He won last time. Yuri's won twice. Pedro Marinho has beaten Craig basically with this rule set. Marigali is one that it's like, I don't know what the fuck to expect. And then
Gordon's
you got all
up on him lately, and I don't know either. I watched his last match very closely and was like, like I didn't know what to read.
But then he fought Lovato and handled him.
Yeah.
But where was Lovato's head at?
That's the thing. Just had his baby.
And Lovato is not. That's the thing about Lovato and Sanji is that I get it. They're older. There's a whole new wave of talent in this event, right? But no one's had more matches than Sanji ever in history, right? And people forget Lovato was literally Bellator champion like 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
Yeah, seriously.
Like beating top people. Yes. He beat Cyborg on my stage not too long ago. Wow. Gaudio is one that I don't know what to expect because I don't know if he's competed in the past 3 years. If he has, it hasn't been in America.
I don't know.
And then Paul Ardilla is one that could win the entire fucking thing. And no one's even thinking that except my roommate. My roommate Ed is like convinced Paul Ardilla is winning this thing. He called it at trials. That guy is fucking good, man.
Interesting. Yeah.
So
I gotta check. I gotta watch more tape now. I'm on it. Or for tape.
The thing that's so tricky about this, about all of these, plus Tractor is silver medalist. Luke Griffith is surprising. Bones, Kyle Bame.
Yeah.
There's 13. There's 12 guys in this division that I could see making the podium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about this tournament, it's one of the bigger guys. It's still exciting. We're training, most jiu-jitsu, it's the other way around. The smaller guys, and then it kind of gets more boring throughout the night. This is like, you want to catch it all. Like,
yeah, but that's not how it works. That's not how the divisions are laid out, though. They start with the heavyweights. Right.
Which is cool, too, from a fan.
First person to hit the mat is Gordon Ryan. He's the first match.
Let's talk about that. How about the balls for him to do the tournament?
I hate it. I hate it.
Because the injury?
I absolutely hate it. I think it is. I think it's. I don't think they should have allowed it. I think that. I think that it takes away from the super fight, but I also think that it adds to Gordon's legacy, and he's chasing titles. He wants to be the greatest to ever do it and do things that no one else has ever done.
100%.
So I'm not Gordon Ryan. And so as a promoter, I hate it. As a fan, I love it.
Yeah.
If he loses in the division, I think it's going to suck for me for the super fight because it just takes away the luster of that match if he loses. And I do think there's a good chance that he loses in the division. I think.
God, could you imagine? I haven't even considered.
I can imagine it. God, I absolutely can. After watching him and Pena, I don't think it's Pena that beats him. I think Victor Hugo could beat him. I think Cyborg could beat him.
Shit. He
had that horrible match with Joao Gabriel Rocha where he got injured, but Gabriel Rocha has been injured a lot. I think the thing that benefits Vinny Magalhaes is the last guy to beat Gordon.
Love Vinny.
He's in the division. A lot of it's going to come up to the draw. The thing about this division is, and this is my guess, is that you have Gordon and Cyborg on one side. Cyborg could win this division. He is physically and mentally maybe the second strongest person in the division next to Gordon.
Yeah.
And with the chip on his shoulder from, all the hate he's received in the past 2 years, might have pushed him hard enough to go to that next level. Yeah. Just to give a good fuck you to everybody.
Yeah.
But he has to fight Roosevelt Souza in round 2. And that guy is a fucking monster.
He's a beast. Yeah.
Gordon has to fight Big Dan in round 2 if Big Dan can win. And I think Big Dan is going to wind up having to fight either Victor Hugo or Vinny Magalhaes in the first round. So after the first round, there's no gimmies for Gordon.
Yeah.
Every match is like a final.
That is very much part of this year's story. You're right.
Every single match is a final. And I think if I was going to bet, I would never bet against Gordon. It just
made it impossible.
It's a bad bet. It's a bad bet to bet again. It doesn't make any sense because he always wins.
Right.
But
he put himself in. I understand.
Murderer's road, dude. It's like the first 2 matches. I don't. If I'm right, and Big Dan has to fight Victor Hugo or Vinny Magalhaes or Joao Gabriel Rocha, I don't think he gets past any of them. But that guy's really good too. He's really good. But any one of those 3 guys will put up a good challenge for Gordon. But the one that I think is the biggest challenge for Gordon in this tournament is Cyborg. I think this is going to be the biggest problem, because he's a fucking monster, dude.
He's a monster.
Cyborg.
And if he's pissed,
say whatever you want about him, but motherfucker is savage as fuck. And
yeah.
When was the last time he lost?
And he's not going to be intimidated by Gordon.
When was the last time he lost? He got heel hooked by Kynan, or he heel hooked Kynan. I don't remember. I don't remember how.
I think
I don't remember who won.
Recent. I remember thinking he won because I remember thinking Cyborg.
He lost to Pedro Mourinho at Nogi Worlds. But in that tournament, that's why I have a hard time saying Pedro wins, because in that tournament, in that rule set, Wagner would have beaten him at ADCC because Wagner was shooting. Pedro would latch on a guillotine. And I think it's the same thing he did to beat Cyborg, and they'd go out of bounds. But because he had the submission, even though it was after it was initiated by Wagner or Cyborg, then he got the advantage. I think. I don't know. I don't watch WJJF. I think it's fucking dog shit. But I'm pretty sure that's how he won.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't put too much stock into that. But yeah, that matchup. Nicky Rod, I think. I don't know what to expect from Nicky Rod. He's been
I like him a lot. I don't know what to expect. I think it's a lot about
the work. It's extremely hard, but he has not had good results since leaving the Death Squad. So I don't know. I mean, he might make it to the semi. He might make it to the semis and fight Felipe Pena, or he might lose in the second round to John Hansen maybe, or I don't know. I don't know what to expect from Nicky Rod. I know everybody wants to see him fight Gordon. I don't see that happening.
That would be so cool.
I don't think it's that cool. I mean, there's emotional shit with that, and
well, for them it's not cool. For the fans, it's cool.
I don't think so, man. Nicky Rod's going to be trying to do cartwheels to pass Gordon's guard. He's never going to get past his guard. Gordon taught him pretty much everything he knows, and then he's just going to play with him. I mean, I think of all the podium people to expect, he has the smallest chance of beating Gordon, him and Felipe. I think Gordon, regardless of what you think about that situation of what happened.
No, I agree. It wouldn't be as competitive.
I just don't see Felipe beating him. Literally the only one I think legitimately has a chance is Cyborg. And then the girls, I think, is a lot easier to pick.
Yeah.
I think Fionn Davies wins this.
Solid.
I think Fionn. Fuck.
What about Elizabeth Clay slipping in there?
Well, let me take that back. You got 5 girls in this division that can win in under 60. I think the way it's going to be seated, and this is just, by the way, I have no input on the seating.
Yes.
I do not
disclaimer for him, guys. Give him a break.
Guessing. Yeah. Mo does not ask me for any advice. I do not sit in the meeting when he seeds. I'm just guessing on how I think the wild card is Maisa Bastos. I think Maisa Bastos could lose her first match to Brie St. Marie, or she could fight Bia Mesquita in the first round. I don't know how that division is going to shake out, because I think if Maisa Bastos was 135 pounds, I think she wins this division. But she's so small that I don't think, like, Bia is huge right now. And I'm not saying, like, fat, like, it could be disrespectful. She looks amazing. Yeah. But I saw pictures of her and her husband and Patrick, and they look incredible. Yeah. Like, I've never seen her look like that. So, and she's Bia. So I don't know. I mean, fuck, dude.
No, it's hard to call. And durable may not be enough.
Fionn put up a war against Rafaela Geddes.
Right.
At my show not too long ago.
Right.
And beat her in overtime. And I don't know, man. I just think it's her year. But I also think it might be Brie St. Marie's year. I think Bianca could repeat, but I think she already had her turn. I think someone new is going to win between Brianna and Fionn and Maisa, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was Bianca or Bia. Yeah. God, this is so hard, dude.
They're hard.
Now the 60 plus.
Now this is even harder, I think, because those women are really competitive with each other, and a lot of them have competed. So
yeah, I know more about this division than I probably do the rest of them, just because I've been, I've had a lot of them fight for me. Okay. I had Liz, Kendall, and Rafaela got really big on my show during quarantine. That was Absolutely. Like, I'm not saying that they weren't already names, but they went from making, $500 a match to headlining shows and making thousands of dollars and stuff. Totally. So, I'm a little bit partial to them. I think Amy Campos is going to have to fight Elizabeth Clay in the first round, and they just fought. And Amy beat her at West Coast Trials.
Damn. Nogi?
Yeah. So here's the weird thing, right? It's like Elizabeth owns Kendall. She always beats her, right? But Kendall beat Amy, and Amy beat Elizabeth.
Right? The math, right? Yeah. God.
And then Rafaela beats Kendall, usually. But Kendall has put in a crazy camp for this. She's been in camp for this for 2 years, pretty much.
Wow.
So I don't know. I think you can't bet against Gabby because she's Gabby. I know she lost to Amanda Levy or whatever. Yeah. I don't know what the whole situation was or whatever. Everybody loses once in a while.
For sure.
But Rafaela Geddes doesn't lose often, but she did lose to Erin Hart. If I was gonna place this event,
sure,
I would say Gabby 1, Rafaela 2, Kendall 3. But I also wouldn't be surprised if it was Rafaela 1, Gabby 2,
Yeah. I agree with that. I think like that's kind of where we're at.
It's just, I think a lot of it,
it's not some more money. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think any of these girls can take Gabby down.
She's so big, and this rule set is for her. This is
I don't know. If who's going to take her down? Happy Ella's not going to take her down.
And if she's on top of you, that's a long night or a long day.
I mean, Gabby's she's the best at this.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And
it's smart money.
And you know, she's got that fuck you attitude as well, you know. She's got more haters than anybody does, even Gordon.
And you talk about a chip. If she comes in pissed off like a Cyborg or a Gordon, she might be pissed and ready to take what's hers, you know.
I think her first match will be pretty easy. And then just because of the size difference. And I don't know the girls. I don't know the girl from I don't know these girls. One's from Australia.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Brazil. The other one is from Cyprus, I think. I don't even know what flag that is. I've never seen them compete ever.
Yeah.
So I just assume that's going to be an easy match for Gabby, but there's no easy matches at ADCC.
Not at all.
Unless you're the one seed and you're fighting the 16, maybe it's an easy match, you know, but you never know. I mean, Leandro Lowe was supposed to have an easy match against Craig Jones.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, yeah, we've had so many cool Cinderella stories.
Was supposed to have an easy match against Lachlan.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you never really know what's going to happen at this thing.
Never.
And Andre and Galvao, Gordon and Galvao.
God, drum roll. What do you think?
I think it's a lot. I don't think Gordon can submit Andre. Let me rephrase that. I don't think Gordon will submit Andre. I think in order to submit Andre, he will literally have to tear every ligament in his knee or put him to sleep or break his bones to the point where they pop out of the skin and the referee stops it. Andre is not going to tap out to Gordon.
Yeah.
Andre, I also don't think can take Gordon down. I think Gordon's going to pull.
Yeah.
Because I think you can. I don't know the rules that well, but I think in the first 10 minutes he can pull.
It's open. Yeah, I think. Open.
And then, or maybe 15, first 15.
Yeah.
And then Andre is going to be trying to pass from his feet pretty much the entire first 30 minutes. I think it goes to overtime.
Yeah.
I think Andre is going to push the pace to get the takedown. And I think he's going to slip up. And I think Gordon will wind up getting to his back and winning by points. That's my guess. But I could definitely see Gordon getting some type of sweep in regulation. I do not think Andre can submit Gordon. But
he doesn't have a high submit record.
But I do think in overtime, I think Andre could also maybe get a takedown and win. I think it's a much, much tougher match than what people think. I think it's ridiculous that people think that Andre doesn't have a chance.
I agree with that. I
think it's disrespectful and it's ridiculous, but
I agree.
Gordon's kind of like the Conor McGregor and I don't mean that as in Conor McGregor now. I mean Conor McGregor prior to Nate Diaz, or he's kind of like Mystic Mike.
He's been calling his shots.
He says what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Most of the time he goes and does it.
Yes.
The fact that he's just making people quit, like
people that previously beat him too.
Well,
so, like, they're coming in.
There's a lot of mental stuff that Fully Penna is going through in regards to that.
You're right about that.
Like I've lost people in the past couple of years that weren't my best friends. You know, but like what Fully Penna and Buchecha like had to go through, like losing their like, I mean, a lot of people were like, oh, you know, I've missed him, blah, blah, blah. But like, those were his like that was like his blood, man.
Yeah.
He went out and fought anyways.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, maybe we see a different Felipe Pena.
Yeah, I
than
would
we
love to
saw
let
at
him
that
take some
event.
time to heal and then come back and beat.
I don't know. I just can't. I don't know, man. It's just like it doesn't. I think either Gordon wins the division and he beats Andre, and Andre retires. I think,
Could you play this out?
Andre
Imagine
takes
this
it, or
scenario.
Andre pulls off the upset and Andre retires. And
That's the thing. Imagine the scenario. Gordon makes it through the tournament, but he's diminished. He's he's tired. He's a little rough for wear.
I don't think that matters. I don't think that matters because I think Gordon's first 2 matches are not going to be that difficult for him unless he has to fight Victor Hugo on day 1 or Vinny, just because that mentally might be a little bit difficult for him just because he lost to him before. But then again, like I said before, I'm not Gordon. He might use that as fuel and like just,
he might want Vinny first.
That might like make him excited.
Yeah, exactly.
I think day 2, like I said, I think he has Cyborg in the semis, and I think that match is going to really fuck with him. But I think that match will be tougher than the final. If he fights Felipe Pena in the final, because mentally he owns him right now. Right now, he owns Felipe. And so I think Gordon, if he's able to beat Vinny / Hugo, then he beats Cyborg, then he beats Pena, I think his confidence from doing that outweighs any type of tiredness.
You're right.
That he might occur. Plus, he's an incredible athlete.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And he looks amazing right now.
He looks in gold. So does Andre, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. So it'll be.
If I was betting, I would be betting on Gordon to win by points. That's what I would be betting.
Right. But I agree that it's.
I do think it's going to overtime. I don't see either one of them winning.
That's what I was just about to say.
Regulation.
Yeah.
I just can't. Like, can you actually see Andre getting submitted? Like, when was the last time I got submitted?
I see a really slick ass sweep from the bottom. I thought Gordon would pull. I thought Andre would pressure pass. It'd be like some cool looking, like constant pressure.
Yeah, but Andre is also not going to make any mistakes unless I think there's going to be a mistake made like Felipe Pena did in the wrestling exchange. And that's where he's going to get got.
Right.
Because Gordon is not an offensive wrestler. He is a very defensive wrestler, which is fine. You can do that at ADCC as long as you're engaging on the feet.
Especially him. Grab a single all day, get a single.
Like 250 pounds. And he's like, there's really no way to beat him because if you go to the ground, he's better than you. You have to engage because he's a counter wrestler.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that puts him at the advantage. But who knows? I mean, Andre has 4 matches he gets to watch Gordon fight in the ADCC rules, and maybe there's no better strategist than Andre. And it's not only you see it through his competition, you see it through his coaching.
Yeah,
he's got the possibility of having 6 champions. You realize that, right?
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, there's 6 people that could Rafaela, Bianca or Fionn. Those are both autos. He doesn't have anybody in 99 plus. Kynan, probably the favorite to win. Hulk Hinger, Ty. That's that's a whole group of them that are.
Representing.
JT Orcade. I mean, they got a chance to win 6 gold medals.
Yeah.
And then the Open division, obviously I have no idea who's going to be in it. But even though I don't think Ty is going to win 88, I think Ty is going to win the Open. I know that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I mean,
because I think
for him.
I don't know if Ty can beat Hulk.
Right. 80, I don't know either.
Or Hinger, because they're just like his fucking coach, man. Like,
yeah.
There's guys on my wrestling team that I coach, dude, that like I'll fuck them up if we were to compete, but I can't beat the people they can beat. But I'll fucking destroy them in a match.
Right.
But I can't beat the guy they're beating. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, man. I don't think Ty wins 88, but I think he wins the Open.
Yeah.
I know that doesn't make any sense, but in my
mean,
mind, I think that's what's gonna happen.
I get it. I mean, he's one of those guys that I'm like, it's gonna happen. It'll happen. And I don't know if it's
and they're just so gangster, dude. I could see him and his brother having a fight in the first round of the Open.
I mean, I hate it for them, but again, as a fan, it would be so cool.
I don't hate it for them. Those two getting fist fights in their bedroom.
I mean, get paid for it, get famous for it, or more famous for it.
They're great too, man. That's one of the things too, I think about this ADCC versus the last one. There's a lot more people to love in this one than there was in the last one.
Yeah.
There's a lot like just character wise, like people for your kids to like look up to in this one. Not that there were bad people in the last one, but like in 66, just on the American side of things, because I don't know the Brazilians really well. Mm-hmm. But like, Gary, everybody loves him. Cole's a great example. Josh, that's a great example. Keith, that's a great example of never giving up. Yeah. JT is the consummate professional. Mika, how do you not love that kid? Totally. Everybody loves Mika. People that fucking want to cancel fight sports love Mika. Yeah. Everybody loves Lachlan, Cade, Nicky Ryan, even though he wears the same t-shirt all the time, which is really if Roberto Jimenez, you love the kid. William Tackett,
I love those boys. Yeah.
How do you not respect Sanji? And then you got Denise is great. There's just a lot of great people competing in this one. So it's hard to pick. Even El Monstro, that guy could go far in the tournament. And me and him competed against each other not too long ago, about a year ago. And we got into it during the match. It was super funny. He slapped me when he picked me in my legs. I'll punch him in the face.
Whoa.
And he takes me down and he's like, you just punched me? I'm like, you hit me first. And after he choked me, we go off sides and I show him the video.
You punched me?
Yeah, I love that kid. Devontae, I love Devontae. That kid's great.
Yeah.
He's awesome to work with, some of the dudes in this division are a little difficult, but people love Craig Jones. They love him.
Great. Yeah.
And then 99 plus is kind of like the fucking meat stick football player division. These guys aren't the most personable, but there's some pretty nice dudes in here, Victor Hugo and Nicky Rod's actually really nice. I don't know if you ever met him.
No, I haven't. I've met everyone he trains with, and everyone says he's great. Yeah,
super funny. And the girls, like Bianca and Fiona, the smiles, Brianne.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah, they're so approachable, Yes. Even Gabby, I know everybody likes to shit on, on Gabby for everything, but if you ever met her, she's the nicest person in the world.
Yeah.
So it's I'm excited to make these people's, I want to give them the best possible experience.
Yeah.
From the get-go, half the people are gone after the first match. But I still want to make sure that even those first half that are gone after their first match have the experience of their lives.
Oh, I'm sure they do. This is our Olympics. It's our Super Bowl. This is it for
us. That's really important to me, So,
yeah.
But I care honestly more about the production than I do the matches, because that's my job.
Are you able to catch any of this in real time, or is it afterwards you end up viewing more tape?
I don't watch tape of anything. No, I don't watch jiu-jitsu, man. I watch a lot of movies and comedies and shit, and then.
Well, you live it so much. I get it.
I go to a lot of concerts, and then I like ball sports. Football, basketball, baseball. I don't really like baseball. I just watch because Ed makes me. But even hockey. We watch that. During the playoffs and shit. And so I'm into I'm the opposite of most martial arts people. I watch MMA too, so it's but I watch a lot of cartoons with my kid.
Yeah.
Really into Addams Family right now because we're really excited about Wednesday coming out. And
I think about you all the time, and not in a weird way, but my son's 4 and he's autistic and he's really into He-Man right now.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So I'm watching hella He-Man, and I'm like my man Seth. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, He-Man, He-Man's a bitch. It's Skeletor is where it's at.
Skeletor's what's up? I know as an adult, I realized
that's the thing. He-Man has all these special powers, and you know, he wears his little stupid fucking hair.
The hair,
and he's got all these dumb magical creatures helping him. And Skeletor always has everything stacked against him, you know, but he never gives up, and he always is trying to win, and he'll do whatever it takes, you know. And I don't know, man. Skeletor and Megatron, those are always been like my two heroes. Like growing up, I always loved the villain, you know, because they always have it the toughest road, you know, and they never quit, you know.
Yeah,
my favorite Transformers scene is in the second one or third one. Megatron's like walking in the desert, and he's like his face is like falling apart. Not like weird things like working on his head. He's got like a tent over his head. These elephants walk by, and he's like, "All hail Megatron." He's like, "He don't give a fuck. He's still the boss." How beaten down, how broken. Look at Nate Diaz,
dude.
You know what I mean? Nate Diaz loses like almost all of his fights. He don't give a shit.
No,
he's still the baddest motherfucker in there in his head.
Yeah, you know? No, he's not.
Yeah, wait to watch that fight this weekend. Everybody thinks Nate's gonna get killed. I'm like, that's because you don't know Nate.
Exactly.
Nate believes in Nate.
I agree. You know? I agree. And this isn't like I want Nate to win.
Get him super into the toys if you can, man. You know,
but I'm scared. I mean, honestly, he's on the spectrum. He might get really into it.
No, man. But there's good storylines behind it, you know. I mean,
yeah.
I know it's just it was my thing growing up, you know. It's like I have tons of them, dude. I have like in my basement, there's a custom Ugonzo Skeletor painting. I have like a whole Skeletor section over here. I have my arcade that's wrapped in He-Man. That's just my shit, dude. Like
my
whole life.
I remember it was you and your dad, right?
No, man. He-Man was just me. It was just like that was my obsession when I was a kid, was Masters of the Universe. But like I said, I was really more into like Mossman and Skeletor and Hordak and
that's so wild. I'm into them now as an adult. But
I have all the Japanese. I have like 200 Skeletor. Like I collect them. That's like my thing. I have like tons of them, like toys and collectibles. I'm a total child.
Awesome. Yeah. No, it's awesome.
Yeah. So I've been collecting them since I was a little kid. But no,
do your boys love them? Do they think it's pretty cool?
No, they will eventually. Carter loves football.
Yeah, Carter's good though, dude.
Yeah, he's balling this year. He's having
he's having a great year. Yeah, I followed the shit out of him.
He's trying to. I mean, I think his team has a chance at running the table and then losing to Cherry Creek in the finals. But they got a good chance of going really far this year, and they're all sophomores. So
yeah, he's young, right?
Yeah, they're young, so that's good. I don't think he's gonna break the all-time the yearly record this year. But I think he's got a chance at breaking the all-time record for tackles for Colorado over the next 4 years. And he's pacing it right now. He's pacing like 13 a game.
Which is a beast thing to say out of Colorado.
I mean, it's not Texas, you know, but it's still.
No, it's a big deal.
He's doing pretty good. And he got picked captain, which is a big deal to me.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, he was a true freshman last year for high school, right? Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, they started as. There's a few of them, like there's a group of them that they came up with, and they're almost all starting varsity now.
That's cool.
Yeah,
those guys are going to be great together.
Yeah, and then my middle son Gabe started high school, so he's wrestling, and then Jacoby is he just got his guitar, and so he's working on music stuff, and then does gymnastics and stuff. So they're just way different, you know. But I mean. Cool. No, I mean, like we all like Jacoby really doesn't really play with toys that much. You know, that's not really his thing. He likes video games, you know, like they play like PlayStation like all the time, like 2K and Fortnite and all that stuff. You know?
At least they got that, you know, kids are so
Gabe's the one that came up with the idea for the ADCC trading cards. So that was his idea.
Wow.
And so I gave him some ownership in that because he came up with the idea for it, and then the examples and all that, and then we built it off of his ideas. And so those things are really cool, man. Like we have holographic ones. We got all it's no joke. Like people are like, "Oh, these are expensive." I'm like, it's because they were expensive as fuck to make.
Because they were expensive.
It costs a lot of money to put together, man. You know?
It's so cool for the competitor though to be like, holy shit, is this me?
Yeah. I mean, as a kid, like the ultimate dream is to be a video game character, right?
Of course, right.
So I mean, like I imagine being in the UFC and being able to fight Conor McGregor with yourself.
Right.
Like that's like every kid's dream, you know? And for me, it was like, you know, I never, even though I did, you know, judo, I never wanted to be a Mortal Kombat character, but I always wanted to be I wanted to be an Olympian, but on the side of that, I wanted to be a professional athlete. I wanted to be a football player. I wanted to be a basketball player. I wanted to be a baseball player. Problem was I wasn't that good. So, but as a little kid, I didn't know I wasn't that good. I didn't find out how I wasn't that good until I moved to Texas when I was 13. Right. Then I got to realize how not that good I was compared to Texans. And that's when my dreams got a little bit more realistic. And, you know, but it was always like my dream to have my own, like, you know, sports card and stuff like that. So it's like something I think is really cool that we're doing for the athletes this time.
It's so cool. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you said it. Video game, sports card, or toy.
Yeah.
You made it, right?
There's all kinds of stuff. I mean, there's collectibles. I don't really understand the NFT thing. I think it's stupid, but
I don't get it. Yeah.
We're doing that, I guess, but I don't know.
It's art and it's unique. So I'm like with it if someone else is with it, but
I don't get it. I have nothing to do with it. I don't understand it.
Yeah. So. I don't have a lot, but to each their own. I'm not against it. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Well, man, we went way over the time that I promised, but I appreciate all of it. To kind of conclude, I want to give you another opportunity. Any shout outs? Anybody you want to just say hello, thank you, goodbye, anything to?
I mean, no, I mean, all the people that, you know, I mean, like I said, you know, if it wasn't for the sponsors getting our back and helping us out, like our budget for the 2019 was $50,000 for production. And I spent well over $500,000.
Yeah, I believe that.
On lights, video, and pyro. Yeah. So if it wasn't for them, the experience won't be what it was, you know? And then, you know, obviously the fighters for putting in the work that they have into this, and for Mo for not getting rid of me, you know?
Yeah. Shout out to Mo.
You know, and then, you know, fuck you to everybody that knows they can go fuck themselves. You know,
you go.
I don't need to say names. They all know who they are. So, you know, so I mean, it's going to be an interesting week. You know, we get in Monday. Build starts at 9 a.m. Monday. Ends at 9 p.m. Wednesday. It's 24-hour build.
Well, I was gonna say it's so fast. Jeez. Wow.
No, it doesn't stop. It goes 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then a new crew comes in from 5 p.m. it goes 9 to 6, and then 6 to 2 a.m. and then a new crew comes back in at 2 a.m. and works till 12. It goes like that. Everybody works in like 10-hour cycles.
That's crazy.
And we have on our staff alone, there's like 50 people. So everybody's working in cycles. So it's like I'm just staying at the venue pretty much for like 4 days.
For sure.
Yeah. And so, and it's funny because I'm not even really doing anything. I just like have to make sure everything gets done properly, even though I don't really understand what's happening.
Just have a clipboard, walk around.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
No, I don't really micromanage that well. I just kind of have to play like mom, make sure everybody's fed, make sure, you know, everybody's got weed, and make sure everybody's like happy and that
fucking they can get through it. Yeah.
Not fighting each other, and I'm not fighting with Flo and all that shit, you know? So it's like, we just got to like act like professionals for 4 days.
Right.
And we can go back to being miscreants and hooligans.
That's it. Yeah. We go back to everybody's holes. Man, thank you. Thank you so much, Seth, for everything. Good luck with everything. I know you're fine.
Are you coming out? Are you coming?
No, but I'll be watching. You know, it's crazy time for me.
Well, if you want to come out, man. I'll give you some tickets.
I'll message you. I wish. I don't think I can, but God, I'm certainly watching.
Well, let me know how the stream goes then, because I won't be watching it.
Yeah, I'll let you know for sure. I know. My fingers are crossed. You know. Yeah.
No, it'll be good. I know Flo's going to deliver. I know their plan. They're literally shooting with 18 camera angles.
Amazing. Yeah. I just hope there's no delays, but you know, it's all part of it. If
I don't really think there's going to be any delays. I mean,
yeah.
I think the longest delay is like 20 seconds, isn't it?
Well, the Gordon one, then Felipe, like it was like an hour or something.
What do you mean?
Wasn't that like delayed this last one? The Gordon one, not ADCC.
What do you mean by delay? Though?
Like it's coming at like 11 o'clock and it comes on at 12 instead.
Oh, you mean scheduling?
Yeah, streaming delay.
Yeah. Well, scheduling is scheduling. I mean, that's not a delay. A delay would be like I'm shooting something and then 30 minutes later it's streaming when it's already happened.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's just scheduling. I'm much better at scheduling than Flo is.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't happen.
They don't know what they're doing. So I mean, they're still not an event company. They're still just a streaming platform that's just trying to host events, but they don't have a clue what they're doing. So it's like they know how to put on good matches. I'll tell you that. They can get it done, and they know how to get the right fights. They know how to get viewers, but they don't really understand the timing of how to time stuff out. Like we got in an argument. Oh, we did it. Mo and them were talking, and it was like they were like, "This event on Sunday is going to take like 13 hours." And I was like, "Nah, it's 11 hours." And they're like arguing. I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm right." So, but you understand how things. I've done fucking 1,000 events. You've done 8. So, like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, I know what I'm doing. You know, right. We can't even start the finals until 4. So it's like it doesn't even really matter because at 4 is when we go to one mat at 4 o'clock, and we literally can't start the finals till 4 because Bruce Buffer can't be there till 3:30.
Yeah, sure.
There's nothing we can do.
Sure.
So after 4 o'clock. The only thing I can do to pick up time if we get behind is I could do the open on all 3 mats instead of 2 and 1. So I can fuck with that a little bit. But like all the goal, I mean, there's really nothing you can do. You don't have any control if the matches go to overtime.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, so it's like I have a schedule and how I base things, and we'll just see how it lays out. But I think it'll run well, and I know that Flo will do a good job of you know, the commentating team is solid that they have.
Yeah, they are.
They got good commentators. They've got Kyle Grover is the director, and he knows his shit. He's good. Oh, the guy that directs everything. He's really good. And then you know, Reed has, from what I've heard, has made some incredible video assets. Like incredible video.
I've seen a couple of them. I've seen a promo.
I won't doubt it. I mean, there's no one better. I think even when it comes to the UFC, I don't think there's anyone better than
He's great
at making videos.
He introduces me to music a lot. Like music.
He is the paramount of video editing in this industry. You know, I heard Howell is no longer working a Flow recently, which is disappointing to me because I like him a lot. But I know like we have Ricardo, Kenny Florian, doing the broadcast again, and nobody knows ADCC out other than Mo more than Ricardo.
Sure.
He's super knowledgeable and well spoken. So yeah, I mean,
the production is going to be great.
I think all the way around, I think it's going to be a really solid event because I'm bringing above my A game. They're bringing above their A game. So at this point, it's just, will the fighters deliver?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I can't see it not happening.
Same here.
I can't see this event not being talked about for the next 10 years. I just can't.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's shaping up to be that way.
Well, and also, I mean, this is the end for a lot of people. This is probably the end for AJ. Maybe it's the end for JT. It could be
Lovato,
the end for Wagner, Simon, Lovato, Galvao. It could be the end, Vinny. It could be the end for a Cyborg. It could be the end for like Gabby.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like there's a lot of people. It's their last dance. You know, and a lot of people, you know, like Jordan, they want to.
Man, I'm getting sad thinking about this. You're right.
True,
thanks, Seth, so much. I'll give this to you. Get some rest, man.
All right, man. I'll see you soon.
See you, brother.